Hello, I'm Elizabeth Anderson, here with Vanessa Binks to take stock of this week's headlines. The issue of the GM debate and moratorium comes into focus as we take an in-depth look as part of our rural agenda coverage. The Liberals have promised to conduct an independent review into the moratorium if elected next March. National Association for Sustainable Agriculture Australia General Manager Mark Anderson believes once the doors to GM products are opened, then more ag sectors could be exposed to the risk, including the concern of contamination. GPSA Chairman Wade Dabanet said SA is being left behind our bordering states by losing access to these technologies.
On Thursday last week, the 2017-2018 state budget was released and described by Australian Conservatives MLC Robert Brokenshire as the worst he had seen in 20 years for Country SA. He suggested the $350 million budgeted to build a gas-fired power station would be better spent on fixing rural roads and upgrading country hospitals. A record $2.2 billion will be spent on infrastructure in 2017-2018, but only $30.5 million worth of new projects were announced for Country SA.
The debate about the future of nuclear waste in Kimba will continue as the two proposed sites in the region move through to Phase 2. This comes after a postal ballot showed 57% of respondents were in favour of continuing the process. Opponents to the facility in the region argue that the vote did not show broad support from the community, while supporters say this stage will allow specific answers for the Kimba example, including the chance to answer some concerns. As part of Phase 2, the community will receive $2 million, in part to fund a local community liaison officer.
Local beef prices have broken a 4-year upward trend after increased volumes of beef on the domestic market and cooling of export demand delivered the drop in retail prices. Industry professionals are forecasting a positive time ahead for the beef industry, with a slight turnaround in the long-term trend of declining Australian per capita consumption of beef. MLA Chief Marketing and Communications Officer Lisa Sharp said the upward slope of retail beef prices since 2013 has been driven by high demand in overseas markets. For more on these stories and more, pick up a copy of this week's Stock Journal.